On tap, Hennepin. Hi, I'm James Knott, and this is the Better Beer Authority. Today, we are sipping on Hennepin from the Ommegang Brewery in Cooperstown, New York. Ommegang was opened in 1997 and focuses on brewing Belgian-style ales. In 2003, they were bought by the Belgian brewing company Duvel Moortgat that brews Duvel. Hennepin is a Saison Farmhouse Ale with 7.7% ABV. It is bottle conditioned, so pour slowly so you don't stir up the yeast. However, pour vigorously enough to create a nice head. The bottle says to drink cool, but not cold. Ommegang says to look for notes of ginger, coriander, and citrusy hops. Saison is French for season. These beers originated in the French-speaking region of Belgium known as Wallonia. This light to medium-bodied style was brewed in the winter and was intended to be a refreshing drink for the farm workers the next summer. Chef, describe some of the flavors that you're pulling out of this.
I mean, there's a lot of flavors going on with this thing. You mentioned the coriander. I get the cinnamon. I get some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some ginger, like a peppery, but I do get a hint of like a sweetness, honey kind of thing. I think it's a sweeter saison than what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting more of a dry, more of a bitter kind of sour note to it. But this it's light, refreshing, but very complex flavors as well.
Joby, what were you getting in those initial aromas that we were picking up?
James, when I first smelled this beer, it was like, it took me back to when we were home brewing, and I ripped open that fresh bag of hops and stuck my nose in there. I felt like this was right on par with that. It's almost like smelling a bag of hops.
Yeah, it's not often that you get like that direct correlation to...
It's almost like smelling a dime bag. I mean, really.
I wouldn't know about that, but
that was my first thought.
I'm not. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very fresh hop smelling beer.
Okay.
So I mean, for beer lovers, that's a great aroma.
Scott, when would you choose this beer?
I really like this beer. I know you said it's supposed to be for the summertime, but for me, I mean, obviously, I think we had the discussion earlier. The original Saisons were brewed with a little bit less alcohol by volume, and these are 7.7, and back in the day they were 3 or so that they could drink a little bit more. So I would actually drink this in the winter with dinner.
Well, it was intended to be a water substitute.
Yeah.
Since they couldn't drink the water, the alcohol would kill the germs, so they had just enough alcohol to kill the germs, but light and refreshing for summer.
So you're saying I've been overdoing it with the beer I've been drinking, thinking the same thing.
Right, you've killed a lot of germs.
A lot of brains.
No, I really like this beer, though. I would drink it any time of the year. I think, for me, this would replace wine for me at the dinner table, though. I would drink this with steak, fish, maybe even some different ethnic foods as well. I think Chef pointed out earlier that he would possibly pair this with some food that had some ginger correlation, maybe with some Asian food, and I can see that, even with some Indian food as well, that has some really good spices involved as well.
Okay, let me throw this one to the table. I mean, this is the first time we've done a Saison. Does this remind you of any beers that we've done on the show or any styles that we've done on the show, or is this just a completely new branch of beer?
Not offhand, I can't think of any that it reminds me of.
I can't, without going back with the plethora of beers that we've had, I can't think of anything that it really reminds me of as far as from a flavor characteristic or the style. I think this is a different style for us. And again, going off what Scott was saying, this is more of that drink that you're going to have as a wine substitute. It's not something that I'm going to bring my buddies over and we're going to open up a bag of chips and then, hey, I got some Hennepin. We're gonna have a nice sit down dinner with all the friends. This would be something that I would say, hey, you know what? I'm making some Asian dish or a chicken kind of ginger chicken dish or something like that. That's what I would say. Hey, drink this Hennepin with that. I think this would pair well with a lot of different foods. There's a lot of different flavors that you can pull out, but it's all food related, I think, and with a taste profile.
Okay, Joby, is this a new direction for you?
I mean, it is, James, but I mean, my limited tasting of beer, being the local BMC douchebag here, if I had to compare this to something, it'd probably be like the Duvel or Duvel that we've had before, or like the Edame or
Yeah, I was thinking of the same thing.
Hennepin, yeah.
Was probably the closest thing because it's a Belgian triple or Belgian. Yeah,
I feel like this is almost like a too of a complex beer for me. It's over, the complexity of it is, beyond me. So I probably not going to get it.
You need a simple beer for a simple man.
I am a simple man, so keep it simple for me. It's probably not one of my favorite beers, but again, like if these guys are getting my mouth watering talking about Asian dishes and stuff like that, but I mean a wine substitute, I could see that. I'm not a big wine drinker, but I wouldn't mind having this.
Yeah, neither am I. That's why I think this is something if someone wanted. I mean, I would try to maybe substitute this and see if that would.
Right. I mean, I'd be interesting to have another Saison just to see what other kind is out there.
Right.
Again, it's brand new to me, so from my rookie point of view, it's just so.
Okay. Chef, rating.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I think this is a great food pairing. I mean, me as chef, I could work a lot with this in developing recipes that would complement this beer. I really think that is the reason why I gave it a higher rating. Originally, I was saying a 7, but when you talk about the food pairings of it, I could serve this, and I would be comfortable serving this at like a dinner party or something like that.
Okay, Joby, where are you at on this beer?
Well, James, I was originally going to go 5, but I'm going to go up to a 6 just because the founder of this beer, for those of you who don't know, discovered Niagara Falls. Anybody?
Well, I don't know if he founded the beer. That's who it's named after.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's named after the guy that discovered Niagara Falls. Do you know how hard he had to look for that? I mean...
Depends on where he started looking.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it could have been really easy.
Yeah, if he was
walking
the first guy
50 feet later.
It was like four guys walking up together and like, oh, look at that. He was like, oh, don't look. I saw it first.
Scott, what's your rating on this one?
James, I'd give this a 7. I think it's a good beer. I'd recommend it to others. Very interesting to me. I've had a couple of other Saisons, and I think this one rates above them. I've had a few others that are a little bit more sour maybe and don't have quite the aroma that this one has. From a distance when I opened this and was pouring it, it smelled like a giant bag of ground pepper. It was pretty cool. Very aromatic.
Hennepin gets a 7.0 on the BBA scale. What's your favorite Saison? Do you have a favorite beer from Ommegang? Let us know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority.